I see what ho, chaps and chappets, game chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we have to have some rather interesting and quite controversial news pertaining to the selling of various things like items and ranks, etc. and so forth on Minecraft servers and Mojang's position on that, don't we, old chap?
We most certainly do, old chap, yes indeed. As you know, you may go on a server and you often see things for sale, such as you can buy VIP status, maybe buy some things within the game, whatever it might be.
That's right.
Yes, and that's well known. But Mojang seem to have aired some views about this.
Indeed, old boy, perhaps somewhat accidentally, but they have been aired all the same.
Most certainly. Now, someone mentioned to a Mojang staff member that their son's account was taken over and that it was important because they had VIP on various servers. In other words, they were saying to him, look, can you help? Because his account's been taken over, they've got VIP on all these servers and he's lost it.
That's right.
Now, the Mojang staff member replied and said they don't recognise anything called VIP on servers because most of those purchases, things like buying VIP status and items on servers, etc., violate their terms of service.
That's right indeed. Now, this has obviously caused a bit of response in the community. The Mojang rep then said, I can safely say things like selling a diamond sword on a server is selling part of the game and has always violated the terms of service.
Now, of course, this will affect and apply to all servers, but particularly large servers out there that are doing this sort of thing. Now, we're not pointing fingers at them, of course, but it seems that Mojang has actually got something to say about this.
Now, a lot of people have reacted harshly to this initially. Some people even went so far as to abuse the Mojang support person on Twitter, and a lot of general angry typing was going on. Now, the Mojang staff member then clarified as follows. He explained that he sees a lot of emails which say, I spent $150 on your game, obviously not true, and this was exasperating for him. He further said he'd actually asked a couple of server owners informally on social media to cease using their art assets on sales pages, and they said they'd make changes.
And that's a very important point. It means that Mojang have already informally moved out and said, hey, we don't want this to actually happen.
That's right.
Now, he further went to say with regard to that he was glad they did remove those certain art assets, because if they hadn't, he may have had to tell a support person who deals with brand issues, and then that's when things get rather more serious.
That's right, old chap. Indeed, it could get nasty from there. Now, next, the Mojang customer support rep said that it's always been against terms of service to sell items on servers, like diamond blocks for $64, etc. and so forth, because you can't buy the game from Mojang and then sell pieces of their game back to other players.
Most certainly, and it would be understandably quite a shock to a lot of server owners to hear this, because they think, well, assets are things like making cuddly toys of creepers and things like that, isn't it?
Well, indeed, it's physical items, that's right, Elby, but also it seems virtual items too.
Well, it would seem so. Now, of course, a lot of server owners have been operating thinking they were fine doing this for some time, and they rely on this income to support the server costs, which invariably are quite expensive when there's large amounts of users involved, etc. But Mojang are perhaps aware that some users have made an entire secondary market business out of this, and they're maybe not too happy about it.
That's right, Elby. There is a certain degree of secondary market business making going on here, and indeed it seems to have come to light. Now, the staff member said he understood all the pitfalls, costs and facets of the Minecraft server community, but he still said that there are servers that violate the terms of service in the ways explained. Then he actually said, think of it like jaywalking. Even if you've never been talked to about it, it's still against the rules. Things could change in the future as the EULA, or Terms of Service, catch up to where things stand right now.
So it seems perhaps that this has been happening under the radar, as it were, but now we have a Mojang staff member who's expressed his concerns over these sort of things happening. It may very well be brought out into where the radar can see it and have some spotlights shined on it, and from there, as we all know, things start to happen.
Well, indeed, Elby, we'll have to keep our eye on the situation and see how things play out from here. But certainly, this is the first time to our knowledge that such an issue has been raised over the sale of virtual items on servers. Of course, it's unregulated by Mojang. They can't actually control what goes on there, so in some ways one might understand their desire to ensure that these sorts of practices are perhaps kept in check.
Yes, and of course, we have to remember Mojang now have their own server, Realms.
That's right, of course. Minecraft Realms their own server service, which they will indeed no doubt be looking to promote.
Certainly, so quite big news for the server community then.
Yes, indeed, and as I said, we'll have to see where things go from here, but it's certainly a point to take note of if you're involved in the multiplayer community in any way.
Most certainly.
Yes, indeed, they are, videos. Quite controversial news. We look forward to seeing you once more in the next exciting news item. Do join us, I say. Until then.